Despite Annie's efforts to distract Meg, this morning's shock was still too raw. It was hard to believe that only a few hours ago, her life had been completely upended. If Annie hadn't shown up, she shuddered. But of course, when Annie had heard about Vance's note, she had rushed to Meg's apartment, still in her sensible shoes and scrubs. She'd snatched the note from Meg's shaky fingers and read it to herself. Disbelieving, she'd read it again, out loud.
Sorry, babe. I just can't do this anymore. V.
Can't do this anymore, Annie had spat, her friend protecting hackles rising. She smoothed the wrinkled scrap of paper and then flipped it over.
A Home Depot receipt?
Annie's nostrils flared, and she brandished the receipt as if holding up evidence for a jury.
For a caulking gun? Are you shitting me?
This last part of her tirade was lost in a mumble when Annie's inner swear sensor from her job at Seattle Children's Hospital kicked in. Nevertheless, the intensity of Annie's indignation felt validating. So although she was loath to leave her apartment with eyes puffy and red from crying, when Meg's bestie suggested they go to the courts to hit out her frustrations with a game that she had never played before, Meg agreed. It had seemed like a reasonable idea at the time. But now, standing on a frigid Seattle pickleball court in January, Meg shivered, gobsmacked by this unexpected twist of fortune. She took a steadying breath. How had this happened? Her husband of 2 years had up and walked out? And for the life of her, she hadn't a clue what he'd needed to caulk. The injustice. A seething fury built in her, from the soles of her neon high tops to the tips of her wavy golden ponytail. Tugging a pickleball from her pocket, Meg rolled it between her fingers. She reared back with her paddle arm. Letting out a guttural grunt, she whacked the plastic ball. It soared through the air, trailing the smoke of 1,000 fires, and slammed into the net. When she yanked another ball from her pocket, she paused to consider the fluorescent green surface, the wiffle holes dotting the plastic, before letting it feel the full force of her fury. With a war cry, she punched the ball with the paddle and admired the trajectory as it flew over the net and hit the chain-link fence with a satisfying ring. Wrenching the last ball from her shorts pocket, Meg grimaced. This one was stuck, trapped by her fingers inside the tight pocket. "Urgh," she groaned, twisting it free. She held the ball to the sky, and a fresh flash of anger filled her when she noticed her wedding ring glinting on her finger. With every ounce of strength in her petite frame, she shouted with such force that her throat hurt as she thwacked the ball hard, sending it rocketing over the fence and into the parking lot, where it rolled lazily under somebody's car. With all the balls gone, Meg crossed her arms over her chest and panted from the exertion. Annie blinked. She tilted her head.
Feeling better?
A little. Meg opened her mouth, closed it again, sighed. It was the truth. She now had several ideas of where Vance could stuff his caulking gun. Annie Yoon pressed her lips into an encouraging smile.
Meg?
Yep.
I told you pickleball would be cathartic.
Meg sniffled, blinked a tear from the corner of her eye, and mustered up a weak smile. Resigned, she stood on the baseline, paddle in hand. Fine, Meg said. Let's play your damn game. 2. The walkway leading to the passenger drop-off lot was a trudge from the pebbly beach. Meg picked up the pace, enjoying the stretch in her legs and breathing in the familiar tar and sea scent of the Bainbridge Island ferry docks. Even as she marveled at the evergreen-blanketed landscape, she hoped that this would be the very last, she promised, crafty cat-collar transaction. Squinting into the thin June sunshine, Meg waited at the appointed spot and watched for the green station wagon. The box of 6 custom-designed cat collars wasn't heavy per se.